After the events of yesterday, one thing is very clear. President Raila Odinga needs a new deputy president. The people's president needs a brand new people's deputy president. It's that simple. One of our members here gave us some inside information of exactly what went down shortly before the swearing in of Raila Odinga. Indeed, it's very interesting because I had the exact same information. Yeah. So I would say that our member here verified. Correction. So we can say that actually the member in this club was the fourth person to verify the exact same information. So it is safe to assume that this information is highly accurate. If you listen carefully to what Kalonzo Musyoka told the press on the morning of the swearing in yesterday, you will be able to read a lot into it. Because first of all, he kept on referring to the wording of the oathing. Okay? Now, you will also remember that in my recording yesterday in the public domain, I said that the wording of the oath had been very carefully reworded in order to avoid anybody being pinned down for treason charges. And so Kalonzo was obviously very concerned. You know, Kalonzo Musyoka obviously is a lawyer, and he was very concerned about that wording. But the long and short of it is that clearly Kalonzo was not fully mentally prepared to take the oath. Looking back, it is very laughable how Kalonzo Musyoka campaigned so hard to be the NASA flag bearer for the presidency. It is like a police officer campaigning so hard to head the flying squad, and yet they don't have the stomach for a serious gun battle with the hardened criminals. Being president of any country, especially an African country, is much more than having a position of honor. Okay? More so in Kenya. You need to have a stomach for serious stuff. Okay? And obviously, Kalonzo Musyoka hardly has stomach for anything. Yeah? Indeed, the public have for years portrayed him as a coward. Many Kenyans like to call him a diplomat, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a diplomat. However, diplomats the world over have never made good presidents. That is a fact. Indeed, those who in NASA say that the other three principles have been holding Raila back have a point. Let us take a closer look at Weta and Mudavadi. Older members of the Kumekucha brand will remember that at the beginning, at the formation of the National Super Alliance, I pointed out that there was a mole within the NASA principles. And I identified that mole as Moses Wetangula. But let us be a bit fair on Bwana Wetangula. Okay? Let's not hit under the belt. The truth is that Bwana Wetangula has way too many skeletons in his closet. And so, all that a Jubilee government official needs to do is to pull out one of the many files on Moses Wetangula and wave it at him, and they will get the information they want. Mudavadi, well, you'll remember in the run-up to the 2013 elections, yeah, we all know that Mudavadi was a blue-eyed boy as far as the Kibaki regime was concerned. He was the chosen heir to the presidency. Now, we all know that at the 11th hour, William Samoei Ruto came on the scene and messed up everything, yeah. But after that, a deal was struck with Mudavadi to play a key role, yeah, in Uhuru and Ruto's win. What was his role? To limit the Luhya vote going to Raila Odinga. And that was the reason for the formation of Musalia's Amani party. It was clear to those doing the arithmetic at the time that a hanging Luhya vote would give Bwana Raila Odinga a very huge advantage. Okay? Yes, the election was going to be fixed. Yes, it was going to be rigged. But you don't want to disadvantage the people really, yeah, by making sure your opponent already has a landslide advantage over yourself. When you do that, you make things very obvious. And a case in point is the 2017 elections, where it became so obvious that the elections were rigged. Okay? Now, credit has to be given to the 2013 folks because they were more careful about that. Obviously, the head of the intelligence at that time, Bwana Michael Gishangi, was more politically aware more politically prudent than those heading the intelligence today and making those decisions rather. Yeah. Hence the big mess we find ourselves in as a result of the 2017 elections. Rigging elections and getting away with it, yeah, is not as easy as it may look. Yeah. It's not just a matter of stuffing in votes. You also have to convince a vast majority of the people that the results are genuine. Yeah. That did not happen in 2017, hence the very, very serious problems which we are yet to recover from. Yeah. Now, the good news for diehard NASA supporters is that the fact that the three other principals are not with Raila Odinga, that is the truth. The fact that they are no longer with Raila Odinga, yeah, the fact that they are vulnerable, yeah, does not matter anymore. Two very important developments have taken place that neutralize the power of the tribal chief in a coalition. So you know Kenyan politics, yeah, you gather tribal chiefs and each tribal chief comes with their votes, yeah. The first development is that of the people's assemblies, yeah. No wonder Jubilee have finally realized how deadly this is as a weapon, a political weapon, in national politics. People's assemblies is actually getting support right down at the grassroots. And so the reality of the situation is that Raila no longer needs a tribal chief as a go-between to get through to a community. Yeah, he can do business directly with the people's assemblies. Yeah, those are the actual people, representatives of the actual people at the grassroots level. This is even more effective than the tribal chief system. Yeah. The second thing that has happened is that through this crisis after the 2017 elections, Raila Odinga has emerged as a symbol of the people's resistance to dictatorship, yeah, and the evil ways of the Jubilee government. This was cemented perfectly at the oathing ceremony yesterday, yeah, because Raila Odinga was there. He took the oath as president, yeah, something that the people had pushed for, yeah. So really, the tribal chiefs, the principals, have really disappeared from the equation. And so, whether they remain flower girls in the coalition, yeah, or whether they defect completely to Jubilee, that will not put a dent on the support Bwana Raila Odinga has, yes, as the people's president. It won't. That should be very clear. There could be a slight problem with the Kamba community because Kambas are strange people. Yeah, let me just leave it at that. However, what Raila handlers need to do is to move quickly and use Mudama to rally around the community, okay? So that anybody coming in to try and throw a spanner in the works will not succeed or will have minimal effect. Yeah, that's the reality of politics. I'd like to end this recording with a very major revelation. Many analysts and political commentators are saying that the reason why Raila Odinga took such a short time at Uhuru Park, yeah, hurried and didn't even read his speech, yeah, was because he was disappointed with the betrayal of the other principals. Okay? That is not true. The true position, according to the inside information I have, is that there were great security concerns. Raila's security team were very, very concerned for his safety. And it's not just because all the police and government security was pulled off from Raila, yeah, shortly before the swearing in. Yes, actually on the morning the swearing in. That was not the main issue, yeah. I am not sure where they got the information, but apparently Raila's security team were convinced that there would be an attempt on his life. Or rather, they felt that there was a high likelihood that there would be an attempt on his life. Apart from the carefully chosen position for his taking the oath, yeah, which would have put him out of view of any snipers in high buildings in the surrounding areas. And of course, it made it very difficult to get good pictures of the swearing in, yeah? It made it very difficult, that position. Apart from that, if you review video footage of Raila swearing in, you will notice the commotion around him, yeah? There's one man in particular who was very curly, yeah? he seemed to be having an ongoing fight with some of the people around the dais. Yeah. Raila himself looked nervous. And I can assure you it's not nervousness because he was scared of being charged of treason or he was scared of what he was about to do. Nope. It had to do with his personal security. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.